Hey folks, welcome back to DCS. So today in Enigma's Discord he posted about how they've added a Nemesis feature to the statistics. You can check it out by heading over to the Discord and checking the announcements tab. I've included this clip from the other day because I hope to become as many people's Nemesis as possible. I mean nothing by any of this, it's just some YouTube bans, but we'll pick up from this after this little gameplay session with Joe. I'll see you in a bit. I figured this would be a good time to fly this because when I last checked there was basically just Skyhawks and A10s on the enemy team. Looks like there's actually a bunch of F5s there now. Oh, Dr. Jeebus is on the enemy team.
He's going to kill me again.
He's currently 7 for 0, so I'm going to make him on mission to make him sad. I might ditch my tanks now, given that they're not that far away and they're all over there.
I could ditch them when we're over there.
I kinda just want to burn some internal fuel and get a bit lighter though.
How many are there?
Yeah, there's like 4 or 5 at least.
Might need the fuel.
I'd rather have the performance. We've not got that far to go to get back.
What's that? Thanks, ditched. Oh, the sun's in our face. Hot 0.6. He's low. 270 is going to be off our right. Tally. Flank right. Just over the water now. Gone past the water. Turning onto him.
Oh yeah, my god, he's like a. It's like a piece of paper. It's like seeing a piece of paper side on. What is it?
F5. Right, there's another F5 with us.
Do you want to go for the guy you saw and I'll look for the other guy?
There's another 2 guys.
Oh, the other one's behind him. They're in form. It's like a kilometre trail.
It's fast.
They're both pulling up. I don't know where you are. Someone just foxed.
Alright, it's Fox next to me and it killed him. That was a friendly Mirage.
Why the fuck won't my missiles come off the rail? Like I've got time but they just won't shoot.
Yeah, that was a bit of an SO fuck up.
No, I'm not having you play those silly AOA games with me, Mr. F5, goodbye.
Might honestly just go in the MiG-21 to be honest and spare myself the pain.
Oh, that was nice. It was cabbage. I killed cabbage. It would be super nice if my missiles worked.
I need to relearn all this Cold War stuff now. Been off it for so long.
Oh yeah, got the other one as well. Shot his rudder off, nice. Why won't my missiles shoot though? That's my most pressing concern right now. Who was that I just killed? Oh, it's Dr. Jeebus. Lol. Well, that's the end of his streak. Hello, again. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Obviously in this game there's actually no way of knowing who someone is, it's basically just guesswork or fluke. It's not like you have name tags above each other's heads. I just thought it was quite funny that I intended to end his streak and then I actually did. I'm sorry for ending your streak. It was not personal. It's just fun to go for the people you recognise. So anyway, in this sortie, I've been flying the MiG-19 a little bit more lately because I don't tend to touch it too much, and I go like months on end without touching it, but it is like one of my favourite Cold War modules. It's just not very competitive in Syria, where everyone has really good missiles. So whenever the map's on Caucasus, I love to dig it back out. So here we're coming in, we've got two guys close on the EWR reports. Missile trail over our head, and I spot a contact. It looks like an F5, so we're hitting the burner, we're pulling up. I still have the tanks on at the moment, but the more likely the chance of me getting into a furball, the more I want to ditch them, because they rip off by themselves anyway, and you don't want them to rip off at an inopportune time, where one might rip off rather than both at once. We ditch them here, just to prep for the fight ahead. If they rip off from you over-G'ing, and one rips off first, not the other, then you end up with a ginormous amount of asymmetric weight on one side of the plane, and it can flip you and rip a wing in extreme circumstances. Obviously not ideal. So this is looking out pretty well. It's working to my advantage. This guy's just laser focused on the person to his 12. I still believe that I suck with the guns on this thing, but I have started to use APHE belts lately, which seem to have much better performance than the other ones do. Beforehand I think I used the HE belts. The default belt has some AP in it, and AP just does nothing. APHE seems to be working the best for me so far. And one day I will learn to aim to conserve ammo. But that is the end of kill number 1, and as you'll have seen from the annotation at the beginning, we were already 6 minutes into the sortie when this happened, so I ditched the tank extremely early on. 10 minutes into the sorties, this is about, I don't know, 2 minutes after the last kill. I spot this hind. I was hoping it'd be a Huey and I'd be able to get my kill tally a little higher on something that couldn't really do anything about it, because I'm evil like that. But it turns out to be, might even have been Joe and Sovereign were flying hinds on the hip at the time. But there was an F5 on the EWR reports, who is now gunning for that hind that I spotted. Horribly. So I just decided to chase him down. It takes quite a while, so the F5 is faster than the MiG-19. It's very sleek airframe. The MiG-19 has like super fat wings, but the MiG-19 can massively out-accelerate the F5. So if you catch an F5 slow, there's really not a lot they can do about it, because you can keep up with them for a long time, but as soon as they get to that higher speed on the deck, you just can't catch them. So you want them to get turning, because if they're turning, you can catch them super easily. That would have been a beautiful shot if I'd actually connected, but I slightly misjudged my alignment. The lead looked good, but I just shot underneath him. Got a friendly in the mix with us here as well. So the trick with dogfighting the MiG-19 is that because you can accelerate so hard, I argue that you can afford to slow down to stay behind people. Not sure how that missed. Didn't look like he flared it until after it passed him. When you're slow, you can stay behind stuff quite well, because you do actually have quite reasonable AOA when you're at low speed. It's just terrible when you're fast. If you get slow, you obviously have a ridiculous touch-to-weight advantage over most things, so you can get your speed back very quickly. If you get slow with them, you can out-accelerate them always. So if you end up overshooting, you can just punch the burner and go vertical, and nothing will be able to chase you into it, except for maybe a Sabre. Sabres are the most dangerous thing to deal with in this jet. So I can see two things in a furball off my left side. Not sure if this F5 is actually trying to follow me and is unaware of his 6, or if I've just interrupted their dogfight, but it does look as if he's turning in relation to me. There's a Mirage F1 shooting at him from his behind. And it's crazy, but at this point I'm actually hoping the F1 misses, because F5s are just like food for the MiG-19. At least if the F5 pilot doesn't know what they're doing. So the F1 pilot has him distracted, and I decide to just go for the missile kill. I have this thing where I try and save the missiles for It's almost like you know, like in an RPG when you get a rare item and you want to save it for a boss fight, and then you're so precious about it that you end up actually never using it. Oh yeah, this is... I put this clip in here, right, because people keep telling me that they're not seeing any server performance issues. That guy was just frozen in mid-air because the servers are just completely fucked. I don't know how people are not seeing these problems. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Nearly got him there. So I saved the missiles like I would for a rare item in an RPG, and then I end up never using them. So I have to just tell myself to use them when I can, just because otherwise I just don't. I tried to keep them for when there's like a 2-on-1 situation. But inevitably what happens is that when I do have a missile shot and I don't take it, I end up missing loads of shots with the guns after that. And if I'd just used the missile, I could have saved myself a shitload of gun ammo and then maybe done more with it later down the line without missing. Pretty nice shot that time. So I've just started to shoot him when I get a shot instead. So we're getting to a point now where the fuel of the MiG-19 is not lasting very long. 26 minutes in with like 3-4 I think kills actually now under our belt. It's starting to wane on me a little bit, and I can't really use the burner too much. That guy just completely disappeared. I'm not sure if that was a server issue or if he blended into the background or what, but I decided to just maintain altitude for a little bit and keep my turn going, see if I can spot him. EWR says he somehow went the other way, which makes me think it probably was a server performance related issue. But I'm trying not to hit mill thrust or the burner unless I absolutely have to. We're just ripping around this right on this F5. I'm going to have to hit the burner to maintain speed through it. We just end up right behind him. And even I can't miss this shot, surely. Oh god. Nothing in the feed about him being dead. But it does look like he's missing a rudder. Oh yeah, lost control and he goes. Next one's 6.5 kilometers away. 30 minutes without tanks is stretching it for what the MiG-19 can handle. I am conscious of the fact at the moment that I really should not be here, but I can't really run away when there's people close enough that can chase me down. Like I was saying earlier, the F5 is faster than the MiG-19 is, so if there's one around that you think might be a threat to you, you kind of have to deal with it before you can afford to run away. More performance issues on the server, having this guy kind of bouncing around all over the place. He is extremely slow. Throttling all the way back for that fuel conservation. The slower I go, the tighter I can turn. And if he tries to turn with me, he will just lose a shitload of speed he can't afford to get back, whereas I will out-accelerate. Slightly departed flight there, so a little bit too slow, pulling a little bit too hard, but I'm just going to catch up to him very quickly, so it's not that much of an issue, apart from the fuel burn concern. So at this point, I just can't afford to chase him. My fuel is awful, like literally 300 kilos of fuel at the moment. I've got 2 engines, that's going to last me like maybe 15 minutes if I set a 50% throttle. Can't really afford to chase him down. So I just turn back towards our base. And then we get a Vigan call out, 7 kilometers. 253, so we're heading like 300 degrees right now. So he's off our left side somewhere. And I actually spot him. And I already have the ace, but I'm just trying for more because I'm a greedy fucking idiot. Ah, I somehow missed it. One day I'll get the lead down for these guns, but yeah, we're down to nearly 200 kilos of fuel and we've got 50 plus miles to cover. I'm an idiot. Miraculously we do actually make it. 45 minutes on just internal fuel. My fuel gauge is literally on 0 right now, but I'm idle throttle and I'm just coasting it in from altitude. That needle could not be lower if it tried. As soon as I disengaged from the Vigan, I climbed on like mill, not even mill, because mill is like on a button on the MiG-19, like the afterburner is. It's a bit weird, but full throttle forward, but not mill. Until I got to about 4,000, 5,000 meters altitude. Back to throttle off to about 50% or less, and then just cruised at like 400 kilometers per hour, like really fucking slow. Barely supping any fuel whatsoever. And I wanted to get high enough that I could just nose down with the throttle off to get me to the runway threshold, which is what we've managed to do. We're going to end up landing with no fuel, basically. Just kick the rudder a little bit to try and align with the runway. And the MiG-19 is a very easy plane to land, thankfully. If I ever did something like this in the Mirage F1, I'd probably bottle it at the last minute and kill myself on the runway. There we go, so we'll just taxi off the active. And I just want to check what our fuel quantity was before we call it quits. At 1%. I'm surprised it's not less than 1%, honestly. We still had gun ammo left though, so if I'd managed my fuel better, I probably could have got 6, 7, maybe even 8 kills. If I actually knew how to fucking aim. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that, folks. Thanks a lot for watching. And I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.